Greetings, everyone, and welcome to We Are ACEDS, streaming live on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. My name is Mike Quartararo, and I am the president of ACEDS. Today, we're going to be joined momentarily by Wendell Jisa, the founder and CEO of Reveal. For anyone who does not know, Reveal is a leading cloud-based, AI-powered e-discovery platform offering solutions spanning the e-discovery lifecycle. It includes BrainSpace and NextLP. You can learn more about them at revealdata.com. And earlier this week, if you hadn't heard, Reveal announced the acquisition of not one, but two companies in the e-discovery space, iPro and Logical, two companies that ACEDS members and followers know well. So we wanted to get Mr. Jisa on the broadcast to talk about this exciting news and what it means for Reveal, and more importantly, what it means for our thousands of members and tens of thousands of ACEDS subscribers, followers, and so forth. Wendell, welcome to We Are ACEDS. Thank you for taking the time. I'm sure you've got a few things going on this week, so I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with us.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Well, thanks for having me on. I appreciate you sharing our story with everyone. ACEDS is an important program in our industry and a platform that's good for me now and in the future.
Thank you. And first and foremost, congratulations on the acquisitions. It truly seems like an unprecedented deal in the e-discovery space, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit. Can we get into it?
Yeah, let's dive right in. Then thank you.
No, you're welcome. So I'll be honest. I've been at this a long time, and I've grown accustomed to M&A activity in the space. But when I saw this earlier this week, it kind of shocked me, and I'm not entirely sure why. But I figured the best way to understand it is to ask you directly, why these two acquisitions, why now, and how does this figure in the strategic growth and reach of Reveal?
Okay, let's peel back that onion.
Yeah.
First of all, why? I say why not, right? Like to me, this is a unique opportunity to provide all of our community something that no one's offered before, and that's having really under one company, right? One organization, the ability to have platforms that serve different needs at their core, but also fill in the gap for when there's those cross needs. You've got the self-service functionality of, say, a Logical, and then you've got the more enterprise functionality and feature set of Reveal, and then you've got the iPro customer base that's been around for 30 years. That's incredibly loyal, and a platform that's been out there and has proven. I just feel like when we started discussing the strategy behind this, it was really we felt like it was a need. We felt like it was a need to serve really the industry that I've been involved since the beginning of my career, and a need where we heard a lot on our end. We don't need all of this. It's too much, and Andy Wilson and his team heard a lot on their end. It's not enough. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to be, you don't want to create something. You don't want to create a square peg and shove it into a round hole. It just doesn't work, right? And I think the ability to provide two unique platforms to organizations that have different needs, different matters, different scale requirements is, I mean, pun intended, a very logical opportunity for Reveal to take advantage of.
Okay, that's fair. And Wendell, I know that the terms of the deal are not public, but I think there's some confusion out there, and I don't know where. I don't exactly remember where it came from, but there was this $1 billion number out there. But I read that as that's sort of the combined valuation of all these pieces together. Can you just clarify that? I wanted to give you an opportunity to clarify that.
Yeah. I mean, like, essentially, it's the valuation of the organization is really what someone sees the value of it is. I suspect it's much greater than that. But our investors, we've got over $1 billion invested in the actual overall organization.
Got it.
And I think there's a little confusion with it. It happens in stories and acquisitions of this magnitude. Thank you for asking about it, because it's also good to clarify it to our user, to our industry.
Yeah, no, I wanted to be clear, because I know there was some chatter about it out in the ether, and I always like to make sure everybody's on the same page. So listen, one of the obvious things for me, and I come at this from a perspective of a former user of iPro and a former customer of Logical, and frankly, in all honesty, like, Reveal is the platform I'm least familiar with, and that's not because of any predisposition or anything. I just haven't used it.
Yeah.
My question is, how do you plan to integrate these apparently very different platforms? And before you answer, let me touch on two other things, and then we can wrap it all into one. So, as I understand the platforms, each one of these, Logical, iPro, and Reveal, each have a legal hold tool. What will happen? Will there be 3 legal hold tools, or will there eventually be one? Pick the best of the three, right? And then, as you know, each of these products is architected in a very different way. Will there be 3 separate review platforms, or does the vision you somehow plan to integrate these platforms into an Uber review platform?
Yeah. So great question too. And I believe in being transparent, so I'm going to say what it is. From a legal hold perspective, we feel like one legal hold tool is the direction we're going to go for sure. It's funny because we were searching for one for Reveal to check that box for many years, and had a lot of failed misses and phone calls trying to get that. When we acquired Legal, we were buying Legal for the connectors and the automation functionality, to bring that automation and tie certain things together within the Reveal platform. But we were pleasantly surprised, and have been pleasantly surprised at the response we received from that legal hold tool. So I think what we're doing now is the teams that focus on that will be working together to create one, what we hope is a category leading legal hold tool for our industry, that will be integrated within our 2 review platforms. Good lead in. We will take, similar to what we did with BrainSpace and NextLP. We took a lot of functionality in NextLP that BrainSpace didn't have for non-Reveal platform users, and we had our data science teams that combined. We had them work together to bring a lot of those features into the BrainSpace standalone product, while in parallel we were taking the functionality of both products and building them into our platform. We actually spent all of 2022 really creating a platform that was powered by both BrainSpace and NextLP, which we now consider really one standalone product itself, that used to be 2. So the strategy here, again, as I said earlier, is we believe there's a need to have an organization that has a down market review tool and an up market review tool. We don't believe that products of Logical and Reveal's levels serve the same uses. We think there's some blend. We think there is some overlap, right? But that's an opportunity for people to choose what they want. Long-term plan, and Andy Wilson and I talked about this a lot. Long-term plan would be to have a pipeline where when the needs change, you can move data from Logical to Reveal and vice versa. For the time being, that's not what we're gonna do right now. We're just gonna offer those two distinct products. Now, what about iPro, right? iPro is a tried and true technology that is out there, and without iPro, this deal is not as powerful from our perspective. What we plan on doing is similar to what we do with BrainSpace, right? We don't even call the product in the platform BrainSpace or NextLP. We just call it Reveal AI, right? Taking the best of Logical, the best of Reveal, the best of iPro, and implementing those features in is really important to us. From a product roadmap perspective and a feature and functionality perspective, Reveal at an enterprise level is further along. It's a little bit richer, but there's also functionalities and features within iPro that folks want, and being able to integrate those together into one of these 2 platforms is imperative to our success.
I really like, Wendell, the IG piece. That's such a critical piece. And I know that iPro locked that down with the NetGovern acquisition. So I'm glad to see that.
Yeah, and then don't forget, what people forget about is like trial directors out there. That's
Right.
part of iPro.
The,
It's a
the
great
other
tool.
end of the spectrum.
Yeah, we're really excited about that. We've had a tremendous amount of calls from our LSPs, from our law firm customers asking, hey, how can we get our hands on this? How can we be a part of selling this? This is an opportunity for us to get out there just in the past 72 hours. And then there's also a product that we've got called Live EDA that's primarily corporate focused that iPro's got. So there's it's not. I saw someone say the word Frankenstein, and it was, again, sometimes it's my patience not to respond. I know I can't, but the fact of the matter is we've got great products. You've got Reveal Enterprise. Let's go Reveal Light for a moment. Brain Space, right? Then you've got Legal Hold. I mean, these are intentional to serve their specific needs. But then you'll have a platform that will have everything baked into it.
Yeah.
All the great across everything. I think that's where people sort of miss what our strategy is and why we're doing it.
No, and I think people need to just understand it's going to take a little time to figure out all the moving parts, and that's totally fair. I get that. All right, so a little bit more macro level. The press release, Kat Casey's blog posts, all of these they talk about this commitment to innovation and customer success. Could you tell listeners today a little bit about how Reveal's expanded resources will drive advancements in e-discovery technology in the processes, in service delivery, ultimately for the benefit of law firms, corporations, the government, all of which are obviously now customers of Reveal.
Yeah, for sure. So for us, it's all about automation. It's funny because and by the way, part of this, none of this would have been possible without Andy Wilson's help. Andy and I got to know each other as individuals. When you're a founder like me and Andy of these organizations, and you put your blood, sweat, and tears into things, like when you sell it, it's a difficult day, right? And Andy and I met a few times. We got to know each other, and his vision to democratize the practice of law and my vision to automate the practice of law, bring those together is really powerful. So while I always say automation is critical, right? Andy says democratization. I don't even know if that's a word, but he talks about that. They're both now unilaterally collected in this parallel world of Reveal, and so I think that's really what it comes down to. It is, this, right? You and I have been in this industry for 30 plus years, and the fact of the matter is that there are so many sources of data out there right now that if we don't bring in smarter technology and automation, the industry would collapse. So the fact that we're able to be at the forefront of this as an organization and bring not just technologies under one roof, but experience under one roof is incredibly powerful. I was in the engineering room. This is crazy. I was in the engineering room the other day, just kind of like answering questions to some of the managers when we were going through some of the integration stuff, and to see the different people that were in there from sort of like the ecosystem of Reveal that came on. We say we're almost like an adopted family, right? A family of adopted individuals. It was you had technically creative, legal, Mind's Eye, secure data, NextLP, BrainSpace, Logical, Reveal, iPro. It was very powerful. And what overwhelmed me as who came up with this thesis, right? What overwhelmed me was the opportunity to take what everyone in that room has experienced over the past 10, 15, 20 years of their careers and put them together into one organization, right? That's what we want to do. And if we can automate this process and we can make it easier for the attorneys to get through data faster and eliminate redundant data, that's where we need to get to as quickly as possible. Because I'll tell you what, Mike, like I drive my daughter and her friends to the mall a lot, and they sit in the back of the car. And I mean, these kids, they'll have these Apple Watches, right? Yeah. And they don't even type, they don't even text with their fingers anymore. They send the audio text, right?
Right.
And so I mean, things are changing so fast, And I think it's just like with all these different communications, we need to be at the forefront as an industry, not just Reveal, but Reveal's competitors, Reveal's customers. We need to work together in order to stay pace, because it's happening fast. And it's rolling downhill.
It's funny because I remember, and anyone who's driven a teenager to a mall knows this. They don't even really look up. They don't look out the window. Like I remember looking out the window and being amazed by nature and things and whatever's going on around us. And these kids today, they don't even look up. Let me pivot a little bit, because obviously an acquisition like this on this scale, it creates a little disruption. For your iPro and Logical customers, what changes can they expect in the near term, and also in the longer term? Is there something they should know is coming down the road here?
Yeah, we don't want anything to change. We want them to have more opportunity, right? And I think I sent out a letter to all of our customers yesterday, through the marketing team, just kind of like spelling out that there wasn't going to be any change. Reach out to your client manager with any questions you have. We send out frequently asked questions. Like nothing needs to change. That's the beauty of this. That's that's the simplicity in these acquisitions, is that we do the same thing, right? We're still trying to solve the same e-discovery problems, just as different products. Now we're just creating two super products, right? That solve the problems hopefully faster. So nothing's going to change. We're not going to affect people commercially. We're not going to affect people contractually. Like from my perspective, this is our industry, and we're trying to solve problems faster for these customers, not create noise.
Awesome. And then obviously, Wendell, whenever there's acquisitions like this, there's been some chatter about layoffs and things like that. Did you want to address that at all? Is there anything you want to say regarding layoffs as a result?
Yeah. It is. I will tell you, it was a difficult few days. We had managers, and we call it old Reveal, new Reveal, and newest Reveal, instead of Reveal, Logical, and iPro, because I want everyone to feel as though they're part of one team.
Right.
But with acquisitions of this scale, you are going to have redundancy. You are going to have overlap. You are going to have to create operational efficiencies, and that's the part of this excitement that sort of neutralizes it a little bit. And I've tried to address it with everyone, and I'll continue to address it with the existing employees. We are K1. Our investor is actually like we're taking the names, we're taking the concept, and we're funneling those individuals into that K1 ecosystem, that the 35 portfolio companies that are in there, 35 B2B SaaS software companies. I think that's also a testament of who our investors are, the fact that they've reached out to us to see how they can help. We want to help. We've also tried to be as empathetic as we possibly can. We've made some mistakes, we've made some missteps, and just human mistakes, but in the end, like it's sort of something you have to do. It's how you do it and when you do it. Like for me, it's better to do it. My position is, and I make it pretty clear with everyone, it's better to do it now rather than do it over time. Some companies make the decision to do it every 3 months and do it slowly to try and extract as much productivity out of those individuals as possible. For me and my family, I'd rather know, and I'd rather have the opportunity to go out there and do something new going into the new year, rather than sit on the edge of my seat every day and not know whether or not I'm going to have a job in 3 months because you're doing multiple layoffs.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. Admirable that you've taken such an empathetic approach. And I'll say to anybody listening that, if there's anything ACEDS can do, we've got a job board. I'm connected around the industry. If I can help anybody, I'm happy to. Let's get a little bit more personal, because obviously you're a leader in the space. When you look back at your journey through this e-discovery nation, if you will, clearly you've achieved some remarkable success. You now stand at the forefront of a very dynamic industry with these acquisitions. Is there a pivotal moment or an experience that shaped your passion in this space that led you to where you are today?
A lot. I've been doing it for 30 years. A lot of good, a lot of bad. So just for people that don't know, I started out in the industry working for Chicago Legal Copies as a customer service rep. So the worst job in the industry was delivering box of photocopies in Chicago in January, right? So, making 16 grand a year, whatever it was. And so I sort of I've risen through the ranks over the past 30 years and done the best I could. I think there's been pivotal moments for me. I think that seeing technology recently be embraced and actually leveraged where folks are finally recognizing that you need technology to do your job in this industry. In an industry that's very risk averse, to me, let's say in the past 5 years, that's been the most pivotal in the past 5 years. The most pivotal in my life that's sort of like got me excited about this is just the people. I mean, I can't stress the people of this industry enough. Like, I'm really proud to be a part of it. I'm proud that I've sort of risen through the ranks the old school way, and seeing the journey, not of me, but of this industry itself that went from paper all the way through now to what I'm talking about, automating the practice of law, right? And to be a part of that and to experience that, I don't think I can sum it up in just one moment. I think it's about all of the moments, right? It's not different from being a parent, being a father. I've got 3 kids. It's you blink, and your kid's not 3 years old. You blink and your kid's not 8 years old. And I think all these milestones, these moments of my career have sort of helped guide me through where I want to get to. A lot of mistakes, a lot of luck, and some good decisions, right? But in the end, it all came down to one core principle: is how do we solve the customer's problems, and how do we make things go faster for them? Because the legal industry, if anyone that's ever been in this, time is valuable, and the sooner you can get to the answers, the more successful you're going to be.
All true, all very, very true. All right, as you expand and strengthen the presence of Reveal, I imagine that building a team, whether it's management, middle management, line workers, fostering and engaging that team, a diverse team, a work culture, all those things are crucial to a successful organization, I think. Is there any insight you could share for creating an environment that not only attracts talent, but also keeps your team excited, challenged, motivated? Kind of I guess I'm asking about your theory of leadership, I wanted to get into that a little bit because you're a leader in the space.
Yeah, the greatest honor I have is being founder and CEO of Reveal in my professional world. Obviously, being a husband and father is in my private personal world. But I will tell you that at Reveal, we value trust over performance. And I think that's the culture that we've created. It's not dissimilar from what the Navy SEALs, talk about, right? We can build an organization, not just of 10 people or 100 people or 300 people or 800 people, but of 1,500 people where we trust in what each other are doing with their jobs, with their responsibilities, and we work together, and it's across departments. That's what we preach at Reveal. Our culture, I would say, is at the core of our strength and our ability to make these acquisitions. We know who we are, we know how we got here, and we know where we need to go, where we need to get to, and how we're going to get there. And I love it. You walk into our office and it says, "Do your job," right? It's as simple as that. We come to work, we operate as a team. We recognize that we check our egos at the door. And we can't get things done without the support of each other. Data science can't do what they're doing without engineering. Engineering can't do what they're doing without sales. And I just think that is, from a leadership perspective, I try to be humble, I try to be transparent, and I try to outwork everyone in the organization. First in, last to leave every day is my goal.
That's awesome. All right, we're almost out of time. And anything else new? I'm almost afraid to ask about future acquisitions because, well, I don't know what that means, but any big events, anything you want to share, anything new, conferences you're going to, anything you're gearing up for?
No, I think right now it's really about integrating the individuals that are here, because it's been an exciting week for folks, but it's also been challenging for them. I mean, you have to remember, like, all three organizations lost great people, and now we've got to come together and line together and become one team, one unit, in order to drive our mission forward. It's interesting because I've always talked about pushing this boulder up this hill and
Mm.
trying to create a two-horse race in the industry. And now I feel like we're at the other side. Now we're trying to keep that boulder from rolling downhill too fast, and making sure that our success does not introduce unnecessary challenges. I think right now it's integrate the culture, integrate the people, integrate the software, make sure the industry understands what we're doing, why we're doing, and when we're going to get there. And then from then on out, it's just stay focused and, move forward.
Yeah, you need to add to the lobby inscription something about Sisyphus, right?
It's kind of funny. Well, I won't tell the story behind it, but a buddy of mine played for the Patriots, and that's where the whole thing comes from.
I got it. All right, listen, I really appreciate it. I know you got a busy week. I know you got other things to do. I didn't want to take too much of your time, but I appreciate you making a little time for us, sharing your story with our members and the audience that follows us. It's been great to chat with you. I hope to see you soon. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, sure. Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you very much. All right, everyone. If you are interested in our short form video interviews, you can find We Are ACEDS live stream interviews in your LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook feeds, and check out the ACEDS YouTube channel where you can watch previous interviews. Thanks for joining us, everyone, today. Have a great extended weekend. Be safe.